Hey there, it's Ed from Blue Hills Digital, and in this video we're going to show you a free and easy way to find out what search terms your website is ranking for in Google. This video is designed for Squarespace users since that's the platform most of our clients use. We'll link to resources for other website platforms in the description. First, let's take a look at what some of these words like search terms and rankings mean. When a user opens up Google's search engine in their browser and types something into the search bar, we'll call that a search term or a query. Sometimes it's a question, sometimes it's a collection of words. Your goal as a website owner is to have pages from your website show up in the search results for relevant search terms. When pages from your website are displayed by Google in search results for a specific query, we say that your page is ranking for that specific search term. And to get more specific, we can give that ranking a number that refers to the position Google displays your page in the search results. The higher your page ranks in the search engine results page positions, the more organic traffic you're likely to get to your website from Google. Now that we've got the basics out of the way, you're probably asking some of these questions. How can I tell how much my website is showing up in Google searches? How can I tell what search terms are resulting in my web pages being displayed? And how can I tell what position my web pages have in the search engine results? The good news is that Google provides an awesome free tool called Google Search Console, and it has a ton of interesting data about your search rankings. You can use this data to learn more about your website's performance and work on increasing your organic search traffic over time. Squarespace provides an easy way to link your website to Google Search Console. So let's get started. In your Squarespace dashboard, go to Analytics and then click on Search Keywords. On this screen, you'll be prompted to connect your website to Google Search Console if you haven't done so already. So go ahead, click that button and start connecting. Then you'll be prompted to log in with your Google account. Just follow the prompts and allow Squarespace to access your Google Search Console data. Once you've completed the setup steps, it can take 2 or 3 days for data to start populating. So let's jump over to a different Squarespace site to see how things look once data has already started to appear from Google Search Console. At this time, Squarespace only pulls in some data from Google Search Console to display in the Search Keywords tab of the Analytics dashboard. This is just a summary, a tiny amount of the full range of data that Search Console really provides, but it's a good starting point. You'll see a chart with 4 data points: clicks, impressions, click rate, and average position. Above the chart, there's a drop-down box where you can adjust the time frame. And now let's look a little more closely at what those 4 metrics mean. Clicks are the number of times a user clicked through to your website from Google search results in the time frame that you've specified. Impressions are the number of times a page from your website was displayed in Google search results in that time frame. Click rate is a percentage that's based on impressions and clicks. It's the rate of clicks through to your website out of the total number of impressions, the total number of views of your website's pages in search results. And the average position is that ranking value we were talking about before. A position of 1 means that your website occupied the very first web link position in the search engine results page for that search term. And right here below the metrics, you'll see a handy calculation of the change over time for each metric, which is based on the time frame that you have selected. Below the chart, you'll see a table containing rows for each search term that your website ranks for, along with the specific URL on your website that is displayed for each of the search results. Each row also contains the same 4 data points we just described on the chart above. While it's great that we can access this data quickly within the Squarespace Analytics dashboard, I want to encourage you to get familiar with the actual Google Search Console dashboard because it reveals way more data about your website and it's a really powerful tool. So let's take a quick tour of how the data looks in Google Search Console. You're going to want to navigate to search.google.com/search-console. Add that one to your bookmarks because it's a difficult one to remember and you want to be able to get back there often and easily. We'll put the link below the video. If you're not signed in with your Google account, you're going to need to sign in, and then if you have more than one website linked to your Search Console account, you'll need to select the right property from the drop-down menu in the top left corner. Once you have the right property selected for your website, click into the Performance tab. There are lots of other interesting reports to explore in Google Search Console, and we'll add some links to other resources below, but in this video we're just going to cover the basics that are in the Performance tab. You'll see the same 4 metrics we were just looking at in Squarespace: clicks, impressions, average click-through rate, and average position. You can click each of these and toggle them on and off on the graph. Note that when the metric is displayed on the graph, a column is also added to the table below that displays that metric for each row. Above the graph, you can adjust the date range that's displayed, and in the table below the graph, there are several tabs you can explore. The first tab shows the search terms your website is ranking for. If you want to look at a specific search term in more detail, you can click on that row, and the data will be filtered just for that search term. You can see the additional filter added up here above the chart. Now you can click over to the second column and see which specific URLs on your website were displayed in the search results for that specific search term. Now let's remove that query filter and look at the second tab, which shows the web pages that are ranking in Google search results. Similar to the last view, you can also click on the specific row to add a page filter, and then you can drill into which specific search terms are triggering that page to be included in the search results. A couple more handy tips. You can click the column headings to change the sort order and choose to display more results in the table using this menu down at the bottom. If you want to export the data from the table you're currently viewing, you can use the export button to get a spreadsheet download. Okay, that's all we're going to cover in this video, and I hope this helps you start discovering the answers to those questions we posed earlier about learning which Google searches are bringing visitors to your website. This data should give you a great starting point for understanding your organic web traffic and thinking about how to develop content to attract more search queries to your website. Before we go, I want to point you to an important next step, which is submitting your sitemap to Google Search Console. Squarespace generates an XML sitemap automatically for your website, and it keeps it up to date as you make changes to your site. This makes it easy for Google's crawlers to accurately index your website and include new pages in search results. Click the link on screen or below for instructions about how to add your Squarespace sitemap to Google Search Console. If you have any questions, we're here to help. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave a question for us in the comments, and if you're viewing this on our website, you can head over to the contact form and get in touch with us that way. I'd love to hear what interesting insights you are able to uncover by digging into your Google Search Console data. Thanks for watching.